Good, Scott? Yeah, we good? Good evening and welcome to the Anaheim Planning Commission meeting of December 2nd, 2024. My name is Christopher Walker, Chairperson of the Anaheim Planning Commission. As a reminder, Planning Commission meetings are now broadcast on all our channels, including the web, Anaheim TV, and Channel 3. The first order of business is to salute our flag. I will lead us in the flag salute. Please place your hand over your heart and begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Next, I will ask the Planning Commission Secretary to take a verbal roll call vote of all Planning Commissioners.
Chair Walker.
Present.
Vice Chair Kring.
Present.
Commissioner Lieberman.
Here.
Commissioner Perez.
Here.
Commissioner Tran Martin.
Here.
Commissioner Castro.
Here.
Commissioner Kelly.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Thank you. If you would please all silence your electronic communication devices so that they don't disrupt the proceeding, we will appreciate that.
Did
Me
someone
too.
forget?
Yes. The doors at the back of the room are automatic. They open when you get close to them, and they don't close until you have walked down the hall. Please move away from the automatic doors and allow them to close. Today, we have 2 public hearing items on our agenda. I would ask everyone who is going to speak on an item to please complete a yellow speaker card and give it to staff if you have not already done so. The cards can be found on the table at the entrance. When you fill out a speaker card, please identify the item you are speaking on and pick the appropriate checkbox at the bottom of the form as either applicant, in favor, in opposition, or neither. In accordance with the Planning Commission procedures and rules of order, speakers will be called forward in this order and then in the order received for each designation. Please keep your remarks as brief as you can. We are influenced more by the content than the length of presentations. First, we provide an opportunity for any member of the public to speak on items of interest to the public that are within the subject matter jurisdiction of the commission, but not on the agenda today. Is there anyone here to speak at this time? See no one, we'll move on to the other items. Next, we have approval of the 2025 meeting calendar. We need a motion and a second to approve, but is there any discussion?
No, motion to approve.
I'll second.
No discussion? Move the order.
Seven yes votes. The motion carries.
Thank you. Prior to beginning the public hearing, I will now ask any planning commissioners for any disclosures they wish to make regarding any of the items on today's agenda. See none. Please note that actions taken by the Planning Commission tonight will be final unless in 10 calendar days an appeal is filed with the city clerk. The appeal deadline for item 2 is Thursday, December 12, 2024 at 5 p.m. Excuse me. Appeal forms and information are available at the city clerk's webpage. I will now begin the public hearing for item number 1, and because they're asking for a continuance, we're not going to have a staff presentation, but are there any questions from planning commissioners to staff?
No, but I'll move to make a continuance to, do we have a specific date? To the 16th.
Okay, I need to open the public hearing, correct, first? So I'm going to open the public hearing. Are there any speaker cards? Nope. And then we'll close the public hearing. Any discussion?
I move to continue this item to the 16th.
Second.
Let's vote.
Seven yes votes, the motion carries.
Thank you. Next, we have item 2 in the staff presentation, and Scott is giving it today.
All right. Good evening, Chair Walker and members of the Planning Commission. This is a conditional use permit request to permit an amusement arcade and a bar with sales of beer for on and off premises consumption within an existing mixed-use building. The name of the business is Hyper Beer and is a joint venture between applicant Hans Milberger and Tommy Sebastian, who is the owner of Asylum Brewery here in Anaheim. The proposed project is shown in yellow on the slide and is located on the ground floor of a 4-story mixed-use building on Center Street Promenade between Anaheim Boulevard and Lemon Street, just across the street from Anaheim West Tower City Office Building. The site plan indicates the tenant space at the corner of the building. The surrounding properties include the Anaheim City Hall buildings to the north and east, museum and residential uses to the south, and office uses to the west. The tenant space was previously used as an office space. This is the current image of the front of the tenant space on Center Street Promenade. Here's an image of the tenant space, including the proposed patio area, which is existing. The applicant proposes to provide new fencing and gates for this patio area adjacent to the Carnegie Plaza. The applicant proposes to establish an amusement arcade with a focus on pinball machines and a small bar area similar in size to tasting rooms in many of the breweries in Anaheim. It would include limited seating, a game and pinball room, restrooms, storage areas, and the outdoor patio. The yellow shaded area on the slide indicates the bar and seating area, and the blue shaded area represents the pinball machines and arcade games. Approximately 40 games are proposed, and live music may be hosted occasionally. Minors will be permitted on site during designated hours with conditions of approval to ensure compliance with Department of Alcoholic Beverage Control regulations and Police Department recommendations. The proposed operating hours are structured to accommodate different age groups. The business would have 3 to 4 staff members per shift, with bartenders trained in responsible beverage service protocols to check identification and manage alcohol consumption. Food service is not proposed at this location. The business would open at noon daily, and all ages are permitted until 8 p.m. from Sunday through Thursday and until 9 p.m. on Friday and Saturday. After these times, the business will transition to adults only, allowing patrons aged 21 and over until 11 p.m. Sunday through Thursday and until midnight on Friday and Saturday. There will be a 15-minute period before the 21 and over hours so that staff can ensure that those under 21 have left the premises. To facilitate this process, staff will use wristbands to identify the age groups consistent with Alcohol Beverage Control and Police Department recommendations. The zoning code does not specify parking requirements for amusement arcades, but requires a parking demand study to determine the appropriate parking needs. The applicant projects a peak parking demand of 30 vehicles, and that's based on approximately 50 customers, including non-driving minors, carpooling adults, and nearby residents. Downtown Anaheim offers over 3,600 parking spaces across 7 structures, with one of those structures located directly across from the proposed site. Historical surveys show sufficient parking is available, particularly during evenings and weekends when office demand is lowest. Additionally, customers can use Fran microtransit shuttles for convenient access to and from the parking structures. Staff concurs with the applicant's analysis and concludes that the downtown area provides adequate parking for the proposed use. Staff recommends that the Planning Commission approve this request, subject to the conditions of approval. The proposed amusement arcade and bar align with the code and the mixed-use urban core land use designation. The project activates a vacant space, enhances downtown entertainment options, and ensures compatibility with nearby residential uses. This concludes the presentation. I'm available for any questions.
Any questions from the Planning Commission? Go ahead.
Hi, Scott. Thank you. I have one concern about this project and really one concern only, and that has to do with any potential noise that may be experienced by the apartments above. I did see that the applicant will be adding soundproofing to the ceiling, but there are 4 points of ingress and egress. I did see that one set of doors will be locked at all times. But that leaves us 3 other sets of doors, and 2 of them being double doors. And how do we ensure that those doors, you know, when people are coming in and out, they don't get propped open in any way? My real concern is for the people above, especially, you know, considering on the weekends, this place will be open till midnight.
So we can make sure that that is included as a condition of approval, that doors remain closed at all times during business operations. That's something that we've done on other projects in the past that were maybe in commercial retail centers that were adjacent to, you know, had residential behind them. So that's a if you'd like, we can add that condition to keep the doors closed. You know, would that be at all times or during evening hours? What were your thoughts?
Well, personally, my thoughts are evening hours, but, you know, people don't necessarily work, or need to sleep in the evenings, now that you mention it, you know. For me, a personal thought would be evening hours. We can discuss this amongst the commission when we're done here. I want to share with you that on the corner of Lincoln and Anaheim Boulevard is an event center. And they have a outdoor patio, which I believe they use for smoking purposes. So when the events are happening inside, and they're very, very loud, you can't really hear them until somebody walks out on that patio. And often that door gets stuck open, and you can hear it a half a block away. So this is, I do realize pinball machines aren't quite that noisy, but we're also talking about a much closer proximity. So that's kind of where I'm coming from.
Okay.
Thank you.
I think that in previous discussions with the applicant, I think that one of the things they would like to is kind of have those doors open during the daytime hours. It's a little more inviting, and so maybe we can let the applicant kind of share a little bit more about that, but you know, and weigh in on doors being closed in the evenings, but that's something that we could add if so desired tonight.
Anyone else? Okay, I'm going to open the public hearing and ask if the applicant would like to come forward.
Thank you, Chair Walker. Good evening, Commissioners. Good evening, Chair Crane and Lieberman. It's great to see you again. My name is Dave C. I'm the agent for the applicant, Hans and Tommy, who are sitting right here. I should be able to answer questions at the end, but they're available for questions as well. First, I want to thank Scott for doing a great job managing the project, getting to the hearing, and also police department staff. They're great to work with. We worked out a lot of issues, and we talked through potential noise impacts, parking, making sure minors, you know, aren't consuming alcohol. So there's a wristband system and so on. So we worked through all those things. Scott did a great job summarizing the project, so I don't need to add much more. We did read the staff report and the resolution. We're in agreement with the conditions of approval. And to Commissioner Lieberman's question about soundproofing, we are going to propose that. So the sound will be buffered inside, we believe, substantially. As far as the doors opened, I did consult with the applicant. His preference is to have it closed if there's a condition of approval after 10 p.m., if the commission is amenable to that. It doesn't mean it'll be open all the time, but wants that opportunity. So kind of want to put it out there for the commission. Other than that, I don't have much more to add, and I'm available for questions.
Questions for the applicant? Thank you very much. Is there any speakers? Okay. Then I'm going to close the public hearing. Discussions?
I'll make a motion to approve and then I'll start it off, the conversation. If 10 o'clock I think is appropriate, that's what I'll say. So 10 o'clock, if anybody want to change this or wants to talk about it.
I'll second that motion.
Nobody? No, I mean, no one else wants to say anything? Okay. Then I guess we vote.
Seven yes votes, the motion carries.
Thank you very much. And I'm going to ask Scott if there's any commission updates in a few minutes.
Sorry about that. The next Planning Commission meeting, December 16th, we will have the transit facility that was continued for this evening and another code amendment. The December 30th meeting is canceled, or was not part of the approved calendar, I should say. And next city council meeting, or at least the city council meeting on December 17th, the annual code update will be introduced to city council. That was approved previously by Planning Commission. Otherwise, that is all the updates I have for this evening.
Thank you very much. Anyone else want to say anything? Nope. I guess we close the meeting. Oh, go ahead.
I just want to wish everybody a happy Hanukkah, Merry Christmas, and a blessed and happy and healthy New Year,
Thank you.
because I will miss you next meeting. Get all my things in.
I guess we'll close. Have a good 2 weeks.